So I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious roasted leg of lamb, flavoured with incredible Mediterranean flavours, crispy potatoes and the most amazing myrtle pesto. This is a roast dinner like you've never seen before, and I'm going to cook it for my two best boys, my dad and Gennaro. I want to give you some inspiration, some principles that really I think might help you really up the roasting game. I've lit a fire earlier and I'm doing it outside, so everything that I'm going to do here is relevant to your regular oven at home, but I kind of want to go back in time a little bit to real roasting. Actually, roasting as we know it now, in a little stainless steel box with a metal coil and a fan, is not roasting. Actually, that's baking, right? Real roasting always has to happen over fire, right? Spit roasting. This is the original correct method of cooking meats. It's the best way to cook meats. So what I have here is a leg of lamb. It's actually not lamb, that's a hogget. Lamb is from 0 to 1 years old. A hogget is from 1 to 2 years old. And from 2 and beyond, that's mutton. It's quite big, it's about 2.5 kilos. I'm gonna cook this for around about 2 hours, 2.25 hours over the fire. But of course, based on the wind, on the heat, you know, it's gonna change. But you cook the lamb as you like. You can cook it blushing, you can cook it through, it doesn't matter. But it's the preparations that I think are really, really exciting. So first up, let's get into flavors. So here I've got some flavors that aren't particularly traditional. Let's start with the traditional, sort of in France and England. You know, we often have legs of lamb with rosemary. Beautiful, we'll take some of that. Often we'll have or celebrate legs of lamb with a mint sauce, so that's very typical. In France, absolutely, they'll have garlic. So these are standard flavors that I think most people understand. But then I've got two very important people coming around. I've got my dad and Gennaro, my two best boys, Italy and England personified. We're going to bring them together through food. So what I have is a little bit of Gennaro will be some olives. He's from the Amalfi Coast. So black and green olives. I've got some lovely bits of chili here. I've got some peppers. These are jarred peppers, sweet, roasted and peeled. You can get them everywhere. So these are the flavors that I'm going to introduce to this beautiful leg of lamb. So for me, in my head, what I want to do is get the best quality meat, which lamb is always a good one, by the way. If you're ever thinking about standards and welfare in chicken, say free range or organic, like everyone starts talking this, that and the other, lamb is always outdoor reared. It's always free range and it's always very reflective of the territory. Right? So this is Essex, lots of grass, lots of buttercups, dandelions, wildflowers, like it's a delicious thing. So what I want to do is get a little knife and I'm going to go straight in to the bone. Wriggle it around a little bit, right? We've made an inch cut, finger goes in, so that's going to make a nice little pocket for flavour and potential. So I'm going to go in and around this lamb and kind of evenly dispatch these holes up against the bone here. Right, so the point of this is just to kind of like, you've got amazing meat, we're going to season it beautiful, it's going to be cooked over fire, the fat's going to render, the fat is going to hit the charcoal and the wood, that's going to give lovely smoke, it's going to be brushed with herbs as it's going, so it's going to be gnarly, dark, delicious, seasoned gorgeousness, but on the inside, beautiful sweet peppers, little squashed olives, little bits of garlic, tiny bit of anchovy, bit of mint and rosemary. Optimism, juiciness, sort of contrast. That's what I'm going for. I like the idea of gnarly, sort of pure lamb with these little pops of surprise. So let's continue making these little pockets. We'll move the lamb around like that. It's very simple to do. If you look on the lamb, can you see these little white lines here? So these little white lines are defining different cuts within the lamb. So the leg of lamb isn't one cut, it's actually 4 cuts. You've got a shank, and if it was like a cow, you'd call it like a silver side, a thin flank, and a top side, right? So you've got 4 cuts of meat here. They actually all taste quite different. So look, we've got these beautiful holes made. That's potential. We can now slice up some chili, and we can slice up some garlic. Do you know what? I couldn't be any happier than being outside cooking like a family dinner on a decent day using fire. That is literally my happy place. Peppers get sliced. Olives, I'm just going to squash and take the little stone out. So I'm just taking a little bit of lemon zest here, and then I'll take a little bit of that lemon juice. And one thing I love to do if I'm using these little tins of anchovies. You get what you pay for. So if they're cheap, they're not going to be great. And if they're a bit expensive, they're probably going to be delicious. You have like a simple olive oil normally in there. And I like to put lemon juice in. So our only job now is to find these holes and just bloomin' stick things in it, right? So we'll take a bit of garlic, we'll take a bit of olive, we'll take a bit of mint, and we'll tear a little bit of anchovy, and we'll kind of just create these little bundles of joy, right? A little bit of lemon zest, right? Not too big, right? And that's gonna have 2 hours of sort of steaming inside this hole. Right, so you don't have to be a rocket scientist to work out. That's going to be so delicious. So that sort of lemony oil, by the way, we can pour that all over everything, right, and the lamb. So we waste nothing. So let's get a little bit of lemon peel, some olive, chili this time, some mint. Let's take a bit of garlic and some anchovy and pepper, and you guessed it, shove it in the hole. So you're going to get sweet, juicy flavours, but also by shoving it in the hole, it's protected. So none of these ingredients are going to get burnt. It's going to be beautiful. So cut holes down to the bone, get in there, open up the hole, find a combination that makes you feel joyful and optimistic about life in general. Oil from the anchovies, seasoning from a height, and we're going to be good to go. Let's just briefly talk about the fire. Look, it's simple, right? We've just got a hole with some logs, you know, lit. What I tend to do is go sort of slightly rectangular. So I'll have like fire here on the right-hand side. I'm going to do the spit roast over sort of the medium heat, and on the left will be kind of ash, right? We can use every single part of this fire, right? But you want that differentiation between aggressive, sort of violent heat, sort of calming down to medium heat where I'm going to roast, to ash, which is nice and slow. Let's start the wrong way round, right? The ash, you can cook things like onions in the skin, right? You could put aubergines on there. You could put a pumpkin on there. So this is a really, really cool way to cook. It'll, you know, sort of catch and burn a little bit, that's fine. The skin will protect it. It will caramelize on the inside. So you can see these logs have just kind of caught again. So aggressive heat, medium heat, and then gentle heat, and you can use all aspects of that cooking. It's really, really simple. What isn't as simple is I have a wind-up rotisserie. Now I'm doing that because I found this in an old antique shop, an old vintage rotisserie. You can easily get electric ones online, which are also very, very good. And the old school would be, of course, 2 sticks with little V's that you pick from the forest or when you go for a walk, and then another kind of longer stick that you would turn. So an old school rotisserie. I know it sounds a bit medieval, but what would you rather do than sit down with a couple of mates, have a drink and twist meat and put the worlds to rights, right? You can do that for 2 hours, easy peasy. So I'm gonna talk you through how I'm gonna cook it. If you want to do it, you know, in a tray, in your oven, you know, roast it as you would always roast a leg of lamb, normally around sort of 180 degrees Celsius, 200 degrees Celsius, for about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half, depending on how you like it. So I'm gonna cook this for about 2.5 hours because it's a bit slower. I've got a sharp part here from the skewer, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go close to this bone here, and I'm gonna feather it all the way through this leg, and it'll come out the other end like that. As it goes through, this little spike here daggers into the lamb like that to secure it, and you want to make sure that that's nice and secure. And then I've got another one here that goes on top, and this will dagger in like that, and that will basically put it and hold it in place, and it's going to do a nice little job like that. So push this down, screw it up, and then you're ready to rotisserie. So what we have here is one side you'll have like a round part, and this will spin like that. And then here we've got a little clutch with a little divot in it, and we're gonna do this up. Now every rotisserie is slightly different, so I'm just gonna tighten that in there, and then I want this lamb to be right over the center of the fire here, so I'll just adjust this so it's nice. Each kind of rotisserie will be slightly different, but it's very straightforward. So now what I'm going to do is wind this up. Now you wind this up until it starts to get a little sort of firmer, and you'll get about half an hour of turning on this. And underneath these little legs is like a little clockwork pendulum, and it really is a thing, look, it's doing it, a thing of joy. Like, this is hundreds of years old. They knew what they were doing. Beautiful, Beautiful inside there. After about half an hour, when it's running out of wind up, it hits a little bell and goes ding, 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 just to remind you to wind it back up again until whatever you're cooking is good. You can do loins of pork on there, you can do whole goose or duck on there, you can rack up loads of little small game birds on there, really, really beautiful. Now, at this stage in the game, what I want to do is two things. I can use, say, a log here, just to pull these logs around, and we're controlling the heat here. As this heat starts to render this fat, you know it's going to sizzle. As the fat comes out, it will hit on the logs, and that will create lovely smoke that will kiss this with beautiful seasoning. So this is a beautiful thing to do. So I want to do a herb brush. It's really fun and a really logical, clever thing to do. Get a pestle and mortar. Take some herbs. It doesn't really matter what herbs, you know, it could be thyme, it could be rosemary, and we'll bash it up just like this. So we'll make a flavoured oil, and that oil will be the oil that we use to baste the lamb, to protect it and to love it. And you can add a little vinegar to this if you wish, a little lemon juice if you wish. You could spice it if you wish, but I'm promising you, like, this is a thing. So I'll take some oil, quite a lot. Now, you're not going to eat all this oil, but this oil has a job to do, and that's to care and to love. Look, a couple of anchovies in there if you want, a little bit of lemon juice if you want, and we just muddle that in, and this becomes your basting liquor. Any piece of roasted meat, or even a whole fish that you would do like this, you would do this in my world. So we have a flavoured oil there, and then we're going to get even more medieval, right? We're going to make, like, we're going to grab some herbs, any herbs you wish, right? And we're going to make like an old witch's broomstick. And we'll take a piece of wood or a spoon and grab a little bit of string and just tie it around any old how. Just tie it up like this, and this is old school cooking. And now it goes in this oil, and we baste, and we're taking care, and we're loving, and we're respecting. Right? This is how you get insane flavour, right? And that's what it's all about. So look, we've got heat here, we've got controlled heat there, we've got the onions cooking slowly, and this lamb is just looking lovely. It's not rushing, it's not sort of going too quickly. So look, I'm super happy. I'll come back in half an hour when that needs to be wound up again. I'll probably cook it for about 2 hours, depending on this heat. And then I'm gonna serve that with a salad. I'm gonna make a myrtle pesto and get crispy potatoes on the go. Right, let's go and get the potatoes boiling.
Yay! Can you smell it?
Hello, Dad.
Okay.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
Good, good.
You look lovely,
Oh,
look at that.
bless you, my
Hello,
God.
mate. Sit down, gentlemen.
God.
Welcome to our little world.
What have you got here for us?
So, this is a beautiful leg of hogget, so 2-year-old lamb.
Lovely.
Stuffed it with garlic, mint, rosemary, peppers, a little
God.
chilli, lemon zest, a little anchovy.
Well, like studied it.
Yeah, right deep in.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
I've got a little smashed up herbs, oil and some vinegar on here. And I'm just kind of cooking it so it's just blushing. So it's not medium rare, it's kind of like gnarly, it's cooked through, it's sort of tender here on the shank. But in those thicker parts, it'll be blushing. And then I'm just about to drain these potatoes, actually, little diced potatoes with garlic.
Wow.
Gennaro, actually do us a favour, mate. Could
Yeah,
you just
I'll
drain
do
those
that.
potatoes in that column?
Do you know
for
what
us?
to remember? It was years. I must have been so long I didn't have anything cooked on open fire like this. Many other things, but not like this.
Yeah, I'd
my
have some now.
gosh.
Gennaro, do you mind just draining that for me,
Yeah, I'm
darling?
going to drain it.
See this, Dad? So I've got the hot side here, medium side here, and then here in the ash.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
That's just,
Potatoes?
no, onions.
Oh, onions.
So, Gennaro,
If you give me something, yeah, I will peel it.
you can put it into this pan.
Wow, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, Trevor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Squeeze it out, Gennaro.
Yeah, there he goes. Look at that, oh my goodness me, yeah.
Yeah, once you peel it, give it to me.
Yeah. Careful, it's quite hot.
That's all right, I got it. And then I'm going to throw it in these potatoes. So just rustic, Dad. Look at the colour, look how soft those onions are.
They're lovely, aren't they?
But I mean, even if you just had those now, with a little pinch of salt and some olive oil,
Oh.
you know, that on a little bit of toast or in a quiche, or you could put it through a lovely frittata or an omelette or something like that would be amazing. Do you want to try it just as it is? Yeah.
Then I had
I'll show
those
you.
before.
Here, look, try a bit of that onion. Go on, Gennaro. It's just got character. It's just a nice and tender.
Oh, God. Wow.
Put a bit of salt on it as well, yeah, Trevor?
Yeah, it's got that kind of French onion
It's lovely.
soup vibe. And then you give it a shake.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, yeah, look, the colouring.
Come on. Do you know, these years I've been eating like that.
And then with the lamb, we just give it a little base. Okay, I got something unusual for you.
Right.
So this, do you know what this herb is?
Well, it looks like a small bay, but...
Yeah. That's a myrtle.
Is it really?
Yeah. And you can plant them as lovely bushes, little box bushes.
Yeah.
Cheap as chips to buy.
Well, that's what it looks like, a box.
And you get flowers, you get berries, and you get these leaves. And it does look like bay, and I think it's got a flavour in that sort of bay leaf world.
Yes, there,
Right.
there.
But they're just not as pungent.
But that's going to take a lot of pounding, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, but not too bad. As an English boy, Gennaro, well, we didn't have much pesto when I was young, but as I grew up, we saw pesto, but it was always what you would call pesto genovese with the basil.
Basil, so, well, it's still people believe now that pesto is a pesto genovese, is we to do with the basil. You see what he's doing? If you do it, you can do this with anything, but it's called pesto. But if you say...
Tell him what pesto means.
A pesto means a pestle, pestare, smash it up, crush it up.
It's a
you
pound.
know. It's a pound. This is, the Roman used to use that for almost everything.
And Gennaro, this is the way I pound, but you show me how you pound. Because you're
I'm
more
thinking on
experienced
that.
than me. I've got a feeling your pounding's more efficient. More efficient.
Have you got more experience of pounding than you?
Did you want to help me? Because I think you have. Yeah, you try.
I've stopped pounding. You carry on. I can see why he's giving it to you.
I know, but that's all right. This goes there.
Yeah, but notice I was pounding like that. He's kind of like got a more of a scooping action.
Yeah.
You see, I think that's because Italians are more romantic.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Do you want to do? You want to try?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Hey, why not? You go try. It's good.
No,
Honestly,
he won't want to use the
there's no
pestle. He
romance
want to
left
use
in
his
me.
fist.
It's down to you. I'm not being caught like that.
Hey, well,
You want to do it, you do it.
Oh, that's all right. Look, it's come up all right.
Can I say, what more do you want?
No.
If you got friends, fire, the potential of dinner, a little glass of something, salute, Dad.
Salute.
Give Gennaro one because he only has a little bit of wine these days. Because if he has too much wine, he starts.
can't pound.
He gets well. That's the problem. He gets too poundy. Go on, Bennett. Come on, let me have a go.
Yeah, you better. Jesus, this is so heavy.
What's the matter with you? So then we go in with the pistachio, and it's like green on green as well, which is kind of cool. And then I'll pound these up, and it'll be vivid green. I've got some cheese going in. Now I'm blending it together with some oil that Dad's putting in. At this point, like, you think you've got it right, you think you've got the ratios right, but every herb's a bit different, every nut's a bit different, every cheese is a bit more different. Some's more salty, some's more tangy. So what we want to do is sort of taste it and balance. So if you need more oomph from garlic, you'd add it. If you need a bit more seasoning or a bit more oil, you'd add it. I'm thinking I might need a little bit more cheese. Go for it,
Have you done the salt, yeah?
I've done cheese instead of salt, but
Okay.
we have a little try now.
The salt's come up all right.
A little salt. And then I think what was unusual in Sardinia is the nonna put a little lemon juice in.
Yeah, there you adjust it.
It's classic for them, but not for others. But I think that lemon juice is going to really...
Lift it.
It'll make the myrtle work a bit more, because the myrtle is quite a robust herb. That with lovely pasta dough. Oh, yeah.
Jamie,
Happy, Gennaro?
it's just perfect.
So I'm just moving these around, boys, and kind of squashing them a little bit, so it's almost like hashy. And then, like, the little garlic cloves are coming out the skin. I'll have a little try. Check the seasoning. Gennaro's best friend, the lemon. Why not?
Oh, yes. Oh. See the lemon inside, yes, give a lovely smell to the fire as well.
How nice is that? I like it when it's sort of like not perfect, but smashed up, and sort of you get a bit of stodge and a bit of crisp. Nearly there, guys. It'll come together lovely.
It just reminds me of what you're doing there. It's like an Italian version of Babble and Squeak.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Where we'd have the all the vegetables and
Leftover potatoes.
leftovers and potatoes and down.
Well, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but
No.
it's one of the tastiest.
Exactly.
Well, also when you stir them around, you crush them a little bit. You get the onions inside, the garlic, and they all grab the one each other. They give it a lovely flavour.
Right, gentlemen,
Here we go.
the time has come.
Yeah.
Do you want the plates?
Not yet.
No.
No, because we got a little bit of this action going on first.
Right.
Mind you.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Ah.
2¼ hours. My guess is it's going to be lightly blushing, cooked through. We can pull it off.
My gosh.
What a
You
treat.
can imagine you go inside the restaurant, you get on a long plate.
Look at that.
You know, sharing food, you got one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, come
But
on.
what's nice is what I'm going to do is just take the potatoes.
Oh, the Italian way, sharing plate.
What I was thinking is we just put that like that, and then we've got some nice salad from the garden. So we'll just hit that with some olive oil and some vinegar. That'll be nice. Got that lovely pesto. And then if we're lucky, when we cut through the lamb, you'll get that amazing cross section. So I'll make the salad a little bit more vinegary than usual, just so it's nice with that rich lamb. How beautiful is that, Dad? I've got my pesto here. I love the chaos of it all. Right, before I start,
Let's have a drink.
Let's
Let's
have a drink. Just a minute,
Salute.
mine as well. I got here. I denied it.
Here's to the
Saluta.
right,
There he goes. There he goes. Trevor, that's mine. Oh, gosh.
look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh, it's blushing. It's cooked through, but it's blushing. You can see those little bits of colour. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's great because you know
Nice.
Look at that.
you've cooked it to like it's blushing in the middle, but you're going to please everyone. aren't
Yeah, I love those little, and then the shank, of course, is really, really nice. Look at that.
you? And that's
Oh,
2
the
hours.
garlic and
2 hours on
chili
the-
inside.
So let me serve you up a plate, boys. This is going to be special. So we're going to take that red onion and potato hash. Lovely.
You're dead first because
Yeah.
he's older than me.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Some gnarly bits,
He
so-
wants some gnarly bit.
Gnarly bit.
Gnarly bit, don't forget.
Look at that. But look, it's not finished yet.
Yeah, we're gonna have the onions and the garlic. What a treat.
And then that beautiful myrtle pesto. Look, it's beautifully cooked. Really, really nice. And I would just finish that with a few lovely rocket leaves. There you go, Dad. Knife and fork.
Fantastic.
Let me let me lay that on your
I think we really
your thing.
played our hands.
Get you all nice. Gennaro, you ready
I
for
like
yours,
it.
sweetheart?
Yes. Yes.
How hungry are you, Gennaro?
Enough. See all this food, how can you cook
Yeah,
it
yeah.
this way?
Yeah.
I cannot be hungry.
I'm not waiting for you, Gennaro. It's too good to wait.
Just little pieces, because I know that your teeth don't work like they used to.
If you like to take them out, I'll sharpen them up for you.
Mummy, I'm gonna have just a little lamb maybe on the sharp of my teeth.
I'll put them on a sharpening stone.
This is a different style of plating, but I quite like it. It just feels so natural, isn't it? Like just
It does.
But this stuff, we don't even need a knife and fork to eat this.
look, you got
one.
lovely mint in there.
Yeah,
Look
meat
how
is
lovely
good.
that.
The lamb.
And 'cause
lemon.
you're from Naples.
Yeah, come on, the lemon. Oh yes. What a service! You know, I can't wait to start to eat.
How is it, Dad?
Fantastic. Absolutely
Oh
gorgeous.
my gosh! I don't
The
even-
pesto just lifts everything.
Yeah, that's nice.
But without being overpowering. Because you're right about the amount of garlic, just a small amount of garlic. I think everyone makes the mistake of putting too much garlic in.
Yes.
And all you get is that garlic.
Garlic, the
burn,
stronger,
if
yeah.
you like. You know, what I like is that you said it was hogget, didn't you?
Yeah.
Instead of lamb, hogget, which is like the 2-year-old
Yeah.
And there's so much more flavour to it, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, slowly.
You're right
Turn
there.
around.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
changed everything.
I guess if you'd have cooked the same thing in the oven, I'd like to taste it side by side, but I'm sure you get that sort of like that smokiness and that earthiness to this dish.
If you look at this here, it's quite delicate, I think. Look at that. So that's very brutal and kind of gruff and rough and sort of rustic. And then on the plate, it's sort of turned
Elegant.
into something
I
quite...
know.
It's elegant.
Mmm.
So good with the pesto and everything.
Onions and potatoes.
Oh, just taste
I
this.
like it.
I don't like it. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you think of that pesto, Gennaro?
It's all right. It's just amazing. Look at that. Just a little bit of pesto.
Hopefully. The silence.
I know.
After all the chitter chatter.
Exactly. I'd like to propose a toast to the chef, Gennaro.
Yeah.
Jamie, thank you so much for inviting us over. This has been an afternoon. And food, memories,
Family.
they go together.
Absolutely.
Family, as you said, the right word, salute. Well done. My God, I really enjoyed it. That was years I didn't eat the lamb like that. Years. Also with the lovely potato, the onions, and
But it's romantic, isn't it?
let's raise the
Gennaro, do you
glass.
think cooking over fire is just...
It is.
Is a
It is.
romantic...
Yeah.
Well done, Jamie. And the pesto. God, you brought the memory
And I've got
back.
leftovers. So
And
this...
you brought
Yeah.
the memory back when
Pasta
we
tomorrow?
went. Yeah.
Put it out with some nice
With the
pasta.
Brought the lovely memory back when we were in Sardinia. God bless you. Actually, this is tastes much better than the other one in Sardinia. Salute, arrivederci. Ciao.
Cheers.
You had
Salute.
more.